Okay, welcome to this Delta flight departing from Atlanta to Fayeteville. We shall get ourselves up and running en route, and then I will talk some more. So this is a full flight, not just a descent and arrival. Airtime is going to be just over the hour, so it's not a long flight, fairly short sector. Fayeteville, of course, up in North Carolina, not far from, it's just east of Charlotte to some degree. Anyway, let's get things underway. Fuel, payload, parking brake. So let's set all that. Parking brake is set. Battery switch on, guard closed. Set on there. AP bleed switch on. AP bleed switch is off, sorry. Left forward fuel pump is on. AP generator switch start. That's AP bleed is off, is that one set? Right, whilst that's having a think about it, let's set up the fuel. And the fuel we'll be needing today will be I haven't changed it back to hold on. Didn't change it to pounds, did I? Yeah. Silly me. Cruising day at 30,000 feet. We'll be using Pro ATC, not VATSIM for this one. I have fixed VATSIM now for P3D, so we will be using that going forward. 12,353 in the tanks. 12,353. 3. Awesome. And let's have a look at our payload. Zero fuel weight's going to be 125.9. There we go. Okay, so fuel and stuff is set. Alright, we can fire up the AP generators now. There we go. Position light is on and steady. Logo lights as needed. Cockpit lights as needed. Emergency lighting, armed, guard closed. Passive signs on. Super signs off. AP bleed switch can come on now. Packs can be set auto high. IRS mode to nav. There we go. FMC initialize that position. FMC nav data update. Oh, it's that time of month already. I'll have to update that. Realise the new ARAC cycle is out. Just as well I'm not flying on VATSIM then. Your dampener can come on next. It's further down the panel on the left here, of course. Fuel pumps, I don't think we've got anything in the centre tanks at all, so we should just put the those on. Ground power switch we're not using, engine will be window heat on. Probe heat electric off, engine on. Trim air should already be on. Temperatures auto, resex auto, packs auto. ISO valves open. They are engine and AP bleeds. Pressurization. So cruising day at 30,000 feet. Nav log. Destination altitude 189. There we go. ATIS FMC program. Now we'll fire up Pro ATC now. Flight plan, fly now. It's a good if you don't want to fly VATSIM or online.
Alpha Tango Lima Airport information.
Pro ATC is a good option as far as offline ATC goes.
Weather wind 096 at 7 visibility 10 sky condition few clouds at 6.
Lost my train of thought there. Let's get clearance delivery. Request clearance.
Clearance delivery Delta 4924 with the information request clearance.
Delta 4924, clear to destination airport via liner departure. Expect vector to climb to 8 count. Expect flight level 300. Departure frequency is 125.0. Transponder 26711. Altimeter 30.14.
Squawk 6711.
Clearance to destination airport via ATL liner departure. Expect vectors to HDMI. Climb and maintain main stop. Flight level 300 within 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 125.0. Squawk 6711. Altimeter 30.14. Delta 4924.
Delta 4924. Readback is correct. Contact ground on 118.1.
Roger 118.1. Delta 4924.
Okay, so we can do the FMC now. So, okay, so we are in KATL, and we're of course going to Fayeteville, which is Kilo Foxtrot Alpha Yankee. No, it's doing it like you do on the Airbus, idiot. There we go. Okay, route KATL, yeah. Now we
Delta 2232, request taxi.
Delta 2232, taxi via Lima and runway 09er left.
Runway 09er left, Delta 2232.
Okay, activate, execute that, performance initialization. Put the reserve fuel levels in. Cost index for Delta is around about 40. And cruising today at 300. There we go, execute that. N1 limits. Bang, bang, bang. So, no. Jesus. No. No.
Delta 1773 ground, turn left on Alpha, taxi to the ramp.
N1 limits. So 101. Takeoff flaps 5 degrees. 511 on trim wheel.
Ground Delta 2212, request taxi. Delta 2212.
Okay, and we will be looking at departing runway 9 left via the Atoll 9 SIDS. There we go. And arrival. This will be RS4.
Via Lima to runway 09 left, Delta 2594.
No stars, no transition. Okay. Execute that. Let's go back to the route plan. Let's go back to takeoff. Go our V speeds. All in legs vectors. Okay, 163.
Ground Southwest 1470. Request startup and pushback.
Southwest 1470. Startup is approved.
Okay, we
Southwest
can set that
1470.
on. 163 is our opening speed there.
Ground go west 1843,
Set
request
up
taxi.
down
Southwest
there.
1843. Taxi via Lima and runway 09er left.
The directors on.
Runway 09er left.
Flights from setting the flags for annunciations. Check. Annunciations. Order brakes. Rejected takeoff. Stabilizer trim. We're departing out 9 left.
Southwest 984.
So we want to push back to the left.
Taxi via
That's my time. Transponder to gas.
Via Foxtrot Hotel to runway 08.
Sounds a bit busy out there on Pro ATC. The volume's quite loud as well. I don't know why. Camera cargo doors. Yeah.
Via Foxtrot Hotel to
I forgot to do the boarding with GSX, but that's no problem. I can still
984.
do the pushback with GSX, so that's no worries. It's always something I forget. Seatbelts on. Steer power. Our fuel pumps
1470.
on.
Request
Some
taxi.
fuels need electric hydraulics. Yeah, it's all kicking off here. Anti-collision lights on.
Via Mike
Pack control switches
09
off.
left, Southwest 1470.
Have I closed the door? No, I need to close the front door. We can do that in a minute. It's no big disaster. Let's come down here, go menu, FS actions, doors, close door, there we go. Turn, put that down there. Okay, ready, request startup and pushback.
Ground Delta 4924. Request startup.
Delta 4924. Startup is approved.
Good. Demonstration.
Roger, Delta 4924.
And on D6. Left pushback and departure. And Delta, yeah. And nose to the left. No. There we go. Let's just go ground connections.
Ground, Delta
Remove
1816.
those.
Request taxi.
Delta 1816. Taxi via hotel to runway 08 right.
Via hotel to runway 08 right. Delta 1816.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
So we're expecting a 9 left departure, which is handy.
Ground, Southwest 180. It's cleared of the runway. Request taxi departure.
Southwest 180. Taxi via Bravo Echo Foxtrot to Gate Charlie 14.
Via Bravo Echo Foxtrot to Gate Charlie 14. Southwest 180.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
Let's go heading.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Heading 90 actually. I'll tell you, we won't put it on air now, we'll put it on heading select. Start at will, that's fine. So, here we go. Let's start the flight, I'm not going to do this. Okay, let's put the fuel on there. Yeah, so I've disabled dense cirrus level on environment force because that's supposed to be a real frame rate eater. I have been having problems with frames recently on, even in my last flight in the C400, it was overcast, it ate the frames. I thought, I can't, there's got to be something not quite right there, so I've disabled that, so hopefully it'll give us better performance. So far so good. Yes. Hmm.
636 ground, Bravo to the ramp.
Interesting. I don't know why. Ah, okay, it's something. I thought I turned off the packs. No. Schoolboy error. There we go. That's a demonstration. I could have sworn I turned them off. That's what happens if you don't.
Ground, Southwest 1444. Request taxi.
Southwest 1444. Taxi via Lima to runway 09er left.
Via Lima to runway 09er left. Southwest 1444.
Ground Delta 1868. Request taxi.
Delta 1868. Taxi via Lima to runway 09er left.
Via Lima to
There we go. We can get the other one started now.
Ground Delta 2939. Request taxi.
Delta 2939er. Taxi via Lima to runway 09er left.
Via Lima to runway 09er left. Delta 2939.
Via Lima to runway 09 left, Delta 1868.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Right, engine generator switches on. AP bleed off. Max auto. Isolation valve switch to auto. Probe heat can come on now. AP generator switch can be turned off. Engine start selectors are off. Flaps.
Delta 2380, request taxi.
Delta 2380, taxi via Foxtrot Hotel to runway 08 right.
Yes, Foxtrot Hotel, at runway 08 right, Delta 2380.
Auto throttle is armed. No, it's not. Auto throttle is armed. There we go. Flight controls against that select runway turn-offs. Okay, and start selectors. We can go from there. Let's get our clearance.
Ground Delta 4924, request taxi.
Delta 4924, taxi via Lima to runway 09 left.
Via Lima to runway 09 left. Delta 4924.
Alright. Brakes off. So we want to take the taxi via Lima, so we take the first left we can.
Ground Delta 1374 is cleared of the runway. Request taxi to parking.
Delta 1374, taxi via Bravo, Echo,
We'll be
Foxtrot,
here.
Charlie 14.
Via Bravo Echo Foxtrot to gate Charlie 14 Delta 1374.
Oops.
Ground Delta 1828. Request startup and pushback.
Delta 1828, startup is approved.
Approved. Delta 1828. Approved. Delta 1828.
Ground Delta 2584 is cleared of the runway. Request taxi to parking.
Delta 2584, taxi via November, Mike, Lima, to Delta 1.
But we're getting pretty good frame rate, as you can see. It's yeah, I'm happy with that. There's a few stutters here and there, but it's certainly a lot smoother. So we've got two aircraft in front of us. It's I don't know how quickly they're going to depart out. I might reset alternate traffic live just to get past.
Delta 2525, taxi via
Oh, maybe not.
runway 09 left. Delta 4924, contact tower on 119.1.
So yeah, we'll have to sit up behind this other Delta here. Company traffic. There we go.
Delta 4924, confirmed.
19.1, Delta 4924.
Tower, Delta 2380, holding short of runway 08 right.
Delta 2380, line up runway 08 right.
Lining up runway 08 right, Delta 2380. Tower, Delta 1868, holding short of runway 09 and left, ready for departure.
Delta 1868,
Line up runway 09 left. Lining up runway 09 left, Delta 1868.
Ah. Fucking, is that sweat or bugs or?
Delta 2380, wind 090 at 7, runway 08 right, clear for takeoff. Good flight.
Runway 08 right, clear for takeoff. Delta 2380.
Delta 1868, wind 090 at 7, runway 09 left, clear for takeoff. Good flight. Runway 09 left, clear for takeoff. Delta 1868.
Tower Delta 4924, holding short of runway 09 left, ready for departure.
Delta 4924, alter position.
Holding our position, Delta 4924.
Delta 4924, line up runway 09 left.
Lining up runway 09 left, Delta 4924.
Tower Delta 1828, holding short of runway 08 right. Delta 4924, wind 090 at 7, runway 09 left, clear for takeoff. Good flight.
Clear for takeoff, runway 09 left, Delta 4924.
Delta 1828. Line up runway 08 right. Lining up runway 08 right. Delta 1828. Delta 1828. Wind 090 at 7. Runway 08 right. Clear for takeoff. Good flight. Runway 08 right. Clear for takeoff. Delta 1828.
V1. Rotate. V2.
Delta 4924. Contact departure on 125.0.
125.0, Delta 4924. Departure Delta 4924, with you, passing 2,500 for 8,000.
Delta 4924, climb to 8,000.
Climbing to 8,000, Delta 4924.
Delta 4924, turn left, heading 030.
Left turn to heading 030, Delta 4924.
We go, departing out from Atlanta. Pro ATC is going to throw some wobblies at us now. See if we can get direct to IRQ. And that's Waypoint IRQ.
Delta 4924.
Delta 4924, clear direct to IRQ, VOR. Establish and maintain heading of 090. Climb to flight level 180. Continue on navigation.
This is what you have to do with Pro ATC, because if you don't, it just keeps wanting you to send you back to waypoints you've already passed. So
Slow to 130 knots.
Going down to 130.
Be a pain.
2538.
Get those flaps in now. Got to put it on VNav nearly. Wondered why I was still going so slowly. There we go, brilliant. Ooh, a little bit of turbulence.
Southwest,
Let's continue our climb up. I need to look at the plan because let's see, our arrival
Southwest.
information, RS4, chart lists, RS4, yeah. Bloody building houses opposite me and making a hell of a racket. RS4, initial approach fix is Zodgi.
Flying to 9,000.
Climbing to 9,000. Delta 2507.
Zodgi. Yeah, Zodgi. Okay, so it's clear out there. No. Yeah. Yeah, Zodgi. Execute. And before we get to Zodgi, coming more of a to us. Yeah, Zodgi. Wow.
Spirit Wind 877 with you passing 15,000 for 9,000.
Spirit Wings.
Okay, let's get the descent forecast
Sending to
put in.
9,000. Spirit Wind
We can
877.
flip that. Continue our climb. Overhead, we can turn some lights out now. There we go.
Southwest. 1444. Flying to 4,000. Climbing to 4,000.
Oh yeah, so oops, no. Descent forecast. Let's get that up. Oh, where is that on here? Come on, play ball with me. Oh, here we are, descent forecast. Yeah, there we go. Right, so at 25,250, we have got 250.26. 250/26. Alright, and at 15,150, we have got 270.09. 270/09, and at 5,000 feet, 050. If it let me put it in there, yeah, 5,000 feet, yeah, that's good. And we got 04022, 040/22 int execute legs. Brilliant. At Zodgi, we want remember how to do a yeah, Zodgi is 135.40. 040. Have to okay, we're climbing out nicely.
Delta 4924. Contact Atlanta on 127.5.
127.5. Delta 4924. Atlanta, Delta 4924. With you at flight level 170.
Delta 4924. Identified. Climb and maintain flight level 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300. Delta 4924.
Yeah, it's a pretty clear day over this part of... Look at my flaps are fully in. Jeez.
Delta 1828. Identified. Climb to flight level 220.
Climbing to flight level 220.
I swore my flaps are fully in. Yeah, they're really not paying attention though. So much, I tell you, it's the heat. It's the heat. It's so hot here today. And just a couple of other things I haven't done. That's off. That's off as well. I think we're all good now. Climbing to cruising altitude of 30,000 feet, expecting a runway 4 arrival into Fayeteville. The weather we can expect on arrival in Fayeteville, I think it's a bit windy there actually, let's have a look. Destination station, no cloud reported, wind, no, it's not too bad actually. 9 knots. A pleasant 26. A lot more pleasant than here in the UK. It's pretty much the hottest day on record today, certainly hottest July day on record. And of course no one here, myself included, has air conditioning, which makes it decidedly unpleasant. So let's talk a little bit more about the routing, a little bit more about the destination. So our routing is pretty much taking us directly east out of Atlanta. And we will head over Stram Furman Reservoir at some point. You won't miss it, it's pretty big. And then we carry on into South Carolina. We will pass the city of Columbia on our left. And just as we pass Columbia, we'll be routing in a more northeasterly direction, heading up into North Carolina. And then turning once again easterly for our descent down into Fayetteville. Fort Bragg is just outside Fayetteville, and then to the southeast of Fayetteville is the Blandon Lakes State Forest. But what of Fayetteville itself? Well, for those of you that are interested, as I said, it's a city in North Carolina, in Cumberland County. And is best known, as just mentioned, as the home of Fort Bragg, which is a major US Army installation, which, as I said, was northwest of the city.
Level 350-6168 identified.
Has a population of around about 200,000 people, which is not big in terms of the American cities. It's only the 6th largest city in North Carolina. Fayetteville is in the Sandhills and western part of the coastal plain region on the Cape Fear River. There we go, what a name. Any amazing facts about Fayetteville? Well, it's always a possibility. Or not. I think I probably told you the most important facts. 10
expedite climb to flight level 220.
10 facts about Fayetteville. Has about 60,000 soldiers and airmen. And the Fayetteville residents of 1775 wrote the Liberty Point Resolves. The Liberty Point Resolves were a precursor to the Declaration of Independence. And the Fayetteville Independent Light Infantry were formed there in 1793, was home to Henry Evans of the Methodist faith. He was a free black preacher during the slave days and received much opposition from whites for preaching his sermons to slaves. This did not bother Henry, and he later became known as the father of Methodism in that region of the country. The city was home to the Confederate arsenal in 1865 when it was attacked by General William T. Sherman, and Sherman's troops destroyed the arsenal, along with many cotton factories and foundries.
Identified. Climb to flight level 290.
It has won the honour of being called the All-American City by the National Civic League 3 times. And the Milken Institute, whoever the hell they are, lists Fayetteville as the best performing city in America. It has 2 public transit utilities, doesn't elaborate as to what they are, and it has a humid climate with moderate temperatures for the majority of the year. There we go. Sorry, temperatures, I said temperatures. And we are already only about 120 nautical miles from the top of descent. Said it was a short flight. We are currently heading towards, as I said, the reservoir. We should see that probably below us at some point. But hopefully if I angle my nose down, it's there somewhere in front of us. Bit hazy out there, so you probably can't see it just yet. What's the frame rate like now? Well, it's not going to tell me. Oh, there we are. We're about in the 60s. Look at that. That's a good frame rate now. There we go. Happy with the performance I'm getting now. It's finally got it up and running. A little bit of turbulence. So, it's been a while since I've been out in Delta. The last flight I did was into Atlanta. I think inbound from Denver or somewhere, wasn't it? Okay, we're just about levelling off at our cruising altitude. Only 30,000 feet today, doesn't really need to be any higher as it's such a short flight.
Delta 1134, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Climb and maintain flight level 320, Delta 1134.
Where's that reservoir? God, it is hazy out there today. That beeping is that incidentally you can hear is coming from outside, where, as I said, they're building houses opposite and making one hell of a freaking racket with their machinery. It's really actually quite annoying. So apologies for that. Still can't see this reservoir. Would it be nearly flying over? It should be down there. I have to say I do love the PMDG 737. It is still one of my favourites of all my aircraft I have. I just love flying it. Shame it's not an X-plane. So we've got about 39 knots wind working mostly in our favour. It's not into us, which is good. And if we have a look at, let's go the charts, excuse me. It's not the largest airport in the world. We'll be landing on a reasonably long runway, vacating to the left. Yeah.
Delta 4924, contact Atlanta on 128.1.
128.1, Delta 4924. Atlanta, Delta 4924, with you at flight level 300.
Delta 4924, roger.
So, really look anything like it, really, does it? What's going on there? It's supposed to be a reservoir down here, but I'm damn fine to see it. Yeah, weird. I mean, there's a squiggle of a river. really what I expected. I'm not sure about that. Maybe it's. This should be, oh, there it is down there. There we are. I suspected it to be a little bit wider, to be honest, but not. There's the city under my wing there. You can see the city of Augusta in the distance. So yeah, fine day across this part of the world.
Delta 1252, good day. With you at flight level 350.
Delta 1252, roger. Atlanta Center, Delta 1134, with you at flight level 330. Delta 1134, roger.
Atlanta Center, American 1160, with you at flight level 330.
American 1160, roger. Delta 4924, contact radar on 124.7.
124.7, Delta 4924. Radar Delta 4924, with you at flight level 300.
Delta 4924, identified. Continue on navigation.
Continue on, Delta 4924.
American 801, expedite climb to flight level 260.
PDA climb to flight level 260, American 801.
American 801. Climb and maintain flight level 310.
Climb and maintain flight level 310. American 801.
That's Columbia below us there. See the airport and the city. We're in South Carolina now. We're now heading northeastwards. As you can see, we're approaching our top of descent, not too far away. A little bit of cloud about here, not too much to worry about. Just passing over some of it, but mostly a beautifully fine day.
1160 with you at flight level 330.
American 1160. Roger.
Jacksonville, Center, United 1235 a day. With you, passing flight level 350 for flight level 380.
United 1235, identified. Climb to flight level 380.
Climbing to flight level 380, United 1235.
United 1235, descend to flight level 300.
Descending to flight level 300, United 1235.
Okay, we are approaching top of descent. So we'll request our descent momentarily from ATC, and then we'll get the descent information set up. I've just remembered I've still got it paused at top of descent, haven't I? I didn't turn that off. Ooh, bouncing around a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Always nice to see a little bit of turbulence. The request, initialized descent.
Delta 4924, descend to flight level 240.
Here we are, take down 240.
Descend to flight level 240, Delta 4924.
Jacksonville, Center, Delta 25988, with you at flight level 350.
Some other air traffic above us there.
Roger. Delta 4924, contact Jacksonville on 134.35.
Yep.
134.35, Delta 4924. Jacksonville, Delta 4924, passing flight level 300 for flight level 240.
Delta 4924, roger, continue on navigation, descend to flight level 240.
Continue on, descend to flight level 240, Delta 4924.
Let's just check my frequencies. It's annoying having to do this on P3D. Check the frequencies, but you have to because sometimes they don't always match up. So runway 4 should be 110.5. It is wonderful. Plug that in. 110.5. Plug that in there. And there. Let's see, our decision height is going to be 200. We can plug that in as well. Not on Barrow. Radio 200. Yeah, we're beginning our descent down now. And the course is going to be 038. Plug that in. There we are. We are beginning our descent down into intercept at 1009 Zogd. Sorry, I'm going to Zogd. Intercept glide slope 1,900 feet. So we'll plug that in now. Oops. Yeah. So yeah, pretty short flight. Oh, excuse me. Let's go weather request.
Delta 4924, descend to 17,000 altimeter.
26 degrees. 9 firm.
Descend 17,000 altimeter, 30.11, Delta 4924.
Lit ref, landing speed's going to be 148. Let's plug that in there. Brilliant. So we continue our descent down. There we go. Nicely on profile. I say it's been a relatively short flight.
Jacksonville, Center, American 1937, with you, passing flight level 310 or flight level 260.
American 1937, roger, descend to flight level 260.
Descending to flight level 260. American 1937.
Delta 4924, contact Jacksonville on 133.45.
133.45, Delta 4924. Jacksonville, Delta 4924, passing flight level 240 for 17,000.
Delta 4924, roger, continue on navigation.
Continue on, Delta 4924.
Jacksonville, Center, flagship 3775, good day. With you at flight level 350.
Flagship 3775, identified.
So yeah, we're almost, well, Charlotte is away to our left there. You probably can't see it through the haze, a bit too far away. But yeah, we're almost over the border into North Carolina now. As we continue our descent.
Delta 4924, descend 1000, altimeter 30.11.
That's 1000, altimeter 30.11, Delta 4924.
Jacksonville, Center, American 1728. With you passing flight level 350 for flight level 300.
American 1728, roger, descend to flight level 300.
Descending to flight level 300. American 1728.
Delta 4924, descend 1000, altimeter 30.11, expect vectors to ILS, approach runway 04.
That's 1000, altimeter 30.11, vectors for ILS, approach runway 04, Delta 4924.
Jacksonville, Center, American 1160, with you at flight level 330.
American 1160, identified.
Okay, we're into North Carolina now as we continue our descent. Get the seatbelt signs on momentarily. There we go. On they go. So QNH. Got the tail end of this cough still. It's not as bad as it was, fortunately.
Delta 4924, descend of 6000.
Descend of 6000, Delta 4924.
American 1160, descend to flight level 280.
Descending to flight level 280, American 1160.
Delta 4924, descend of 6,000, contact approach on 125.2.
Descend to 6,000, 125.2, Delta 4924. Please 115, Zulu, Bravo, and ground, possible contact 910, bye-bye. Oh, 119, 115, go down at 936, runway 06, please for takeoff with 320 degrees, no traffic passing 4 miles, bye-bye.
Clear for takeoff 1806, Queen Donna 36, bye-bye.
Approach, Delta 4924, 6,000.
Delta 4924, expect vectors to ILS, approach runway 04.
Vectors for ILS, approach, runway 04, Delta 4924.
Tower, good evening, Easy 459, Mike, ILS 06.
Good evening, Easy 459, Mike, Queen Tower, continue approach.
Continue, Easy 459, Mike.
With 115, Zulu, runway 06, clear to land, with 320 degrees, and no, direct vacancy.
In land, right, 06, expected time.
Go down at 936, ready for departure.
Affirmative, we're fully ready for departure, Queen 936.
Go down at 936, behind the landing traffic on a short final, which is about 620, line up runway 06 behind.
Okay, after landing traffic, Airbus 320, line up 1806 behind, Queen 936.
Delta 4924, turn right heading 145.
Right turn to heading 145, Delta 4924.
Delta 4924, descent 5,000.
Descent to 5,000, Delta 4924.
Okay, so we're flying a vector approach. Roll with it, turn in left soon. Landing speed's going to be 147. Yeah. Been in the air about 42 minutes, we've made excellent time. So the air time was around about an hour. So yeah, it hasn't taken us too long to get over here at all. So we're down through 8,000 feet now. Reduce the rate of descent a little bit. Reduce speed as well. Let's have a look. The distance is 7, 10, 12.
Present altitude, November 662 Kilo, November.
Delta 4924. Turn right heading 150.
Right turn to heading 150, Delta 4924.
X. Slash. How far did we say? 7, 10.4, 12, 13. 7, 10.4, 11.3, 12.2, 12.2. There we go. Oops. 12. There we are.
Viva 30 Charlie Victor, addressing traffic is passing 4 miles, runway 06, please for takeoff and 320 degrees and 2 knots. Bye-bye. We're taking off to 6 Viva 30 Charlie Victor.
Let's get the flaps out.
November 662 Kilo, November. Climb to 5,000.
Climbing to 5,000, November 662 Kilo, November.
Okay, getting lower and lower. Ease that rate of descent back a little bit. And go down through 4,000 feet. Seatbelt signs are on. We'll ignore Pro ATC now. Pro ATC doesn't vector very well, I do find.
Delta
Having said that,
4924. Turn left heading 085.
Left turn to heading 085 to the EVGA Delta 4924.
Seven.
My departing traffic is a 777 and runway 06, clear to land, 320 degrees. Clear land 06, 459, 459.
Okay, we're slowing down nicely now, coming in nicely. We've armed the localizer. Slowing down 180 knots, 147 will be our landing speed. So it's a beautiful fine day here.
Delta 4924. Descent to 2,300.
Descent to 2,300, cleared for final tower to mark 118.3 Delta 4924.
can probably arm the approach one. There we go. We're good. We're coming in nicely. Perhaps a little low, slightly too soon. That's that 12-mile fixed marker I added there. You can add multiple fixed markers. They're very useful, especially for vectored approaches. You can get an idea of how far out when you want to configure flaps and things. So yeah, it will be established on the localizer shortly, and then we will slow to our final approach speed. Okay, there we go. We're now turning for our final approach. No sign of the runway yet, that's still a little way out. It's about 12 miles out. For some reason we got some Prague ATC, but that's just something about Pro ATC. I added some sound files. This was meant to be just for Prague, and it did it for half of America as well, rather bizarrely. A bit annoying.
Number 2 behind the 777 on your left side.
That's a good thing about Pro ATC if you want to go down that route, is you can download your own background chatter files. But I find it more or less easy enough just to listen to the real things. You get it from the same place. These background chatter files I got from live ATC net as well, so
Delta,
yeah, might as well listen to it live. Okay, I can see the I can see the airport. Whether you will on YouTube or not, I don't know, because obviously I'm flying in 4K and it downscales it.
Tower Delta 4924 on final.
Delta 4924. Slow to final approach speed.
Okay, final approach speed. There we are. 147, clear to land.
Reducing the final approach speed. Altimeter 30.11. Clear to land. Runway
We
04,
can go gear down momentarily. Let's get that gear down then. Let's get those flaps out. It's a nice view, isn't it? And one more notch on the flaps. Take us to 30 degrees on the flaps. Water breakers armed, speed breakers armed, 3 greens on the landing gear. We will be intercepting the glide slope momentarily. Winds pretty much head on. Speed to that. We'll kill the auto throttle momentarily. Okay, we've captured the glide slope. Descending down now into Fayeteville. So the frame rate here is out of interest, and it's still hovering around that. You still get little micro stutters, don't you? It's really annoying. Bit of a pain. Anyway, we can let's try and make a good landing on this. We've had some ropey landings recently, not always my own fault. That one in Pasto was obviously interesting. The one at Naples, obviously because of the runway. My general aviation landings, when they don't go well, are typically my fault. I do need to work on those. So tricky flying that GA aircraft, I tell you. Actually find airliners much easier. Probably in the real world it's the other way around. Okay, let's kill that auto throttle. We have cleared to land, of course. Watch the speed because we've not got the auto throttle anymore. It's looking good. And we will disarm the autopilot in a minute, and this should be a fairly straightforward landing. Nice and calm. Oh, I say nice and calm. It just bounced around a little bit there. P3D tends not to bounce you around as much as X-Plane does.
Hold your position.
I can see some traffic waiting to depart there. It's Ultimate Traffic Live amusing. Okay, let's kill that and bring ourselves in to land. Oh, we've let the speed get away a little bit. Okay, not too much. Oh, we're drifting off to that side a little. Let's just bring ourselves back on profile. Perhaps up a little bit. Oops, coming back to the side too much there. Way too much to the side. Up a bit. Okay, let's bring that back quickly before we lose that. Whoops. A little bit wobbly there. Kill the throttle. And that is pretty much perfect. Maybe a little bit off the centre line, but didn't float it. Touched down beautifully. I'm immensely happy with that landing. Oh, and I've also forgot that you need to keep the deal. Yeah, silly me. Always forget that I need to keep keep my hand on the F2 button for the reversers.
121.7 Delta 4924.
There you are, we have vacated. Press taxi to, yeah, I can turn that off now, I don't need privacy anymore. I'll just go and park up wherever the hell I want. There we go. Okay, welcome to Fayeteville. I must say I'm very happy with that landing, apart from the fact I forgot to keep the reverse thrusters going. We'll review it, of course. Let's have a look. What touchdown rate did we get there? I got a touchdown rate of -288, which I seriously can't believe. As I say, well, we'll look at the landing again, but I find that hard to believe that was that firm. As I say, I have a theory that these touchdown rates are not calculated on the instant you touch down, but over a second or two. Because so many times it's just seemed not always in my favour, incidentally. It seemed off from what I've actually got. So yeah, we'll go and have a look. Anyway, let's go and park ourselves up. Welcome to Fayeteville. It's a beautiful day here. We'll just go and stick ourselves next to this. I don't know what kind of plane that is there. I was tempted to say it's a CRJ, but it looks too chunky for a CRJ. It looks more like a, I don't know what that is actually. It doesn't even look like a 712. It doesn't look long enough. Let's go and park next to it and see if we can figure out what that is, shall we? It's not going to tell me. It's a bit annoying. Although having said that, if I go other aircraft, air traffic, regional jet 200 apparently. That's what it is. One of these two. There we go. Anyway, we have arrived. Let's do that. Do that. Do that. File my P-rep. And let's go and take a look at that landing. Menu, PMG set up, panel state, load, land, execute. Because as I say, I do find it hard to believe that that it was, yeah, I don't believe that at all for an instant. But let's see what the replay says, because that will tell me one way or the other. So reload all those things, flaps should be out, yeah. Okay. So replay. Moment of truth. I think that was a great landing. Let's get the tower. See me coming into land here. Ignore those call outs. It's always a little bit buggy, the replays on P3D. Let's watch this as I come into land here. A little bit wobbly on the approach there as I try to line up the runway. it stutters. And we start flaring. You know what? Maybe, yeah. That was perhaps a little bit firm. 288, still a good landing. Nicely near the centre line. But I would say that actually landing rate was probably spot on this time. I'm not going to argue with that on the replay. But let's just review it from this angle. Let's have a look. Why the replay so stuttery? It's weird. Come down. See, I still think that's a great landing. I'll take that. I'm happy with that. I would say I'd give that 8.5 out of 10. That landing. For those of you who like to rate landings, it's not my greatest ever landing. It's far from my worst landing. Let's just get the wing views. Everyone loves a wing view. So we come in here. So that just about brings us to the end of this flight. We realise you had a choice of YouTube videos. Thank you very much for choosing this one. And I wish you a pleasant onward internet browsing experience. Hopefully you enjoyed this and you'll join me again on another one of my flights. I do obviously a mixture of these pre-recorded videos if you like. I do live streaming as well as and when I can. I don't know why Chase Plane's getting so stuttery on the replay. And yes, yeah, that's fair. So there we have it. We have arrived with a firm landing here in Fayeteville. And once again, thank you very much for joining me, and look forward to welcoming you all on board again in the very near future. Thank you and goodbye.